I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. It's Oops, the podcast. Singing a little ditty. I'm Francis Ellis. He's Giulio Gallerati. How are you, Jay?
Dude, I was hoping you would do that.
Dude, I've had that knocking around up there for a while, man. And here's the issue. You know, these songs do not abide by standard English conventions.
They do not. They definitely take
There's
liberties.
some whores in this house. I mean, the subject-verb agreement there isn't even trying. There is some whores, some implying multiple. There are some whores in this house. Guess that doesn't roll off the tongue quite as nicely as there's some whores in this house.
Oh, man, that's great. That is really funny.
I take umbrage with grammatical liberties in hip-hop songs quite often. Because when you actually speak them out the way that Ben Shapiro so helpfully did, you realize, my God, these people do not care whatsoever.
Dude, I just wish that we need to get Francis listening to some more deep cuts, like some of the shit that I listen to.
Uh-huh.
Like, I just picture Francis trying to decode, like, 2 twin Jaco need a little do, yeah, 2 twin home, I know what to do, yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, who are these turkeys?
That is a Lil Keed lyric.
Yeah, they're all
K-E-D.
Lil or trying to get there as quickly as possible. They're all ASAPs. You know, I'm sick of this bullshit. You go back and listen. Let me ask you something, right? My best workout playlist is a hip hop workout playlist. And it's all like Eminem, you know, till I collapse. I'm filling these brains full of nails and
You're
killing
such
my
a dad,
wife.
dude.
You know,
that's such a dad song.
Yeah, but or you know, you got some songs from Dr. Dre 2001.
That was a good one.
Loved that album. And these like Still Dre.
Oh yeah,
and,
ding ding ding.
yeah.
Ding, ding,
These
ding.
songs they adhere to the measures, right? There's sort of the same number of syllables. Every line ends in a rhyme. There's a followable rhyme scheme.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a hook that repeats itself. Hip hop is no longer that.
Yes, it is.
No. No, it is not.
So what is it now?
It's some weird kind of mumbling. Everyone says mumbling. I hate saying that because I do sound out of touch. But dude, you have to admit, right? Like you listen to 90s, 2000s hip hop and it was kind of straightforward and simple in its like rhythms, and it would stick to the same format, which was like verse, hook, bridge,
Right.
hook.
Right. I don't know. I think that there still is some adherence to that. It's obviously evolved a little bit, but like songs are a little shorter. Like you're not getting as many 3-verse songs as you were maybe.
What about this? Now the beats aren't the drum used to keep the beats together.
Mm-hmm.
And all beats in hip hop used to be some version of like something like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Right, some piano.
Something like that. And there'd be like a nice melody over it. Yeah, and you could follow, like, we could rap along with the song because we, the white losers, it was simple enough.
Mm-hmm.
And now they are cramming so many syllables into a beat that doesn't really have that clear of a beat, like of a drum line that holds the measures together. And maybe it's just that I'm, I don't know, too stupid, but musically I find it hard to participate in the song.
I understand. It's fine. And I think that, I don't think that's uncommon. I think, you grow up with a certain kind of something. And then you get a little older, and then you're like, in my day,
Yeah.
in my day, they were really smart. But I remember that when I was a kid, even like my cousins who were older would like make fun of me for listening to Wu-Tang. They'd be like, this shit's so stupid. And now that's regarded as like highly intelligent and intellectual. And now, you know what I mean? I feel like that the evolution is there. I don't know. I think that if you gave the new hip hop a chance, I don't know if you'd like it or not, but I think you'd find some sort of like obvious kind of basis points for how it evolved to where it is.
Let me add this. The last song that I would call a modern song that felt like sort of your reliable 2000s hip hop song was the Drake Back to Back.
That's really random.
That song.
He puts out a lot of songs like that still, dude.
I don't agree.
Dude. Chris is
angry.
Holding his tongue. Yeah,
Chris
dude, I don't
mad.
I don't know. Back to Back was a good song though.
Kanye's albums are all gospel-y and fluid.
The last one was odd for sure.
There's
Chris,
a lot
go
of
ahead.
God in hip hop now.
Dude, I don't know.
No?
Not really. I mean, I guess there's always been a lot of God in hip hop, but not in that capacity.
I think we could find some good rappers for Francis.
Yeah,
I
we
feel
should
like he
try
would
to
like
find some.
Jid.
What about this?
Yeah, he would.
What about this?
Because he's
That song that goes win, 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 win.
Yeah,
You know that song?
who is that again?
J-Rock.
Exactly.
Okay, yes.
I like that song.
That's a good song. That is a song
I
you
like
would
that
like.
song.
It's
That
a song they play at every football game.
That's
These
a
are
90s
songs
style
that
hip-hop
I
song.
need to work out, right?
Mhm.
And what happens is,
Win.
as soon as my workout playlist is over, God forbid I'm still working out and it switches over to Spotify's recommended songs, and we get into some of these strange, eerie, kind of ethereal beats, that barbell is coming crashing down on my clavicle. I cannot lift weights to this new age
That's
hip-hop.
all of a sudden it comes up, told that bitch I got money. Hey, counting up hundreds is nothing. Hey, Francis immediately starts to suffocate.
Dude.
Told that little bitch I got money. Hey,
Yeah, exactly. I can't work out to Migos and, dude, Ludacris back in the day would be like, you could rely on
dude,
that.
you are such a dad. This is so funny. I feel like every dad has one song that they like and they like keep referencing it. Like for my dad, it's Big Pimpin'. My dad
Classic.
goes Big Pimpin', spending cheese. I'm
Yep.
like, all right, dad. Yeah, that's funny. My girlfriend's dad loves Ludacris.
I like Ludacris a lot.
And he'll
Ludacris-
say A-Town and stuff. And that's like his dad joke,
But it's not, you couldn't stuff all the great 2000s rappers into the dad box category.
No, but having one, it makes you a dad. Having one go-to rapper from the 2000s. Or saying 50 Cent. 50 Cent is another thing that
Yeah.
dads say.
Right. Get Rich or Die Trying. Every
Classic
album. Every song on that album, I could lift weights to.
That album was a banger, dude.
All right, but hold on a second. Let me ask you this. I have another thought.
I love this,
J.
dude.
Cole.
Yeah.
I really like J. Cole.
Right, there you
Now,
go.
he has some songs that I can lift weights to, but
Definitely.
a lot that I cannot.
Right. He gets very introspective.
He has a lot
sometimes.
of songs that I would want to listen to if I were in like a sensory deprivation tank.
Totally.
Does that make sense?
Yes, because there's a lot to think about, and he gets like really
And there's no real
sensitive
beat.
and-
Sometimes he'll just lay down like 400,000 words across a track that has no drum,
totally.
but is kind of maybe some sort of string arrangement. I don't know.
Right.
Synth.
I feel you on that.
And it's almost like a recitation of poetry very quickly, which I admire.
Definitely.
It's just a different art form. All I'm saying is I can't lift weights to that.
Right. No, totally. I understand. It's an homage to kind of like 90s lyricism, but not all the songs are like pump up songs,
Right.
which is totally understandable.
Okay.
This is great. What a
We
great.
got somewhere there. I was nervous. I thought you guys were going to mutineer. I thought you had a couple mutineers on my hands.
Mutineer, dude. That's
Yeah.
great.
I think it's just evolved so much now that people can do. Everybody has. I can make a beat right now in 2 minutes and show you, and you can rap on it. And like,
That's true.
It's just it's become more of like a. People have the technology to do whatever they want now, so now they can.
Got it.
Love it, Chris.
Interesting.
That's why we got Chris, who's 10 years younger than
Chris
us.
is such
fucking
a hip
keeping
hop
it sharp.
aficionado. It's amazing.
He's just
Chris,
a good guy.
I stumbled upon a streetwear brand.
Oh, here we go.
Here
we go, baby.
I want to say it was like something with the word smile in it.
Chinatown Market.
No, but I do like the Chinatown Market. And I also like the Dover Street Street something.
Market.
Dover Street Market.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's different.
the year
things,
of the
but it is
rat.
cool.
They have lots of rats
That is
in their
cool.
clothing.
What is it? Smile? Something?
No, I don't know if it was Smile, but it was like an ad that came up, or maybe I saw it because I follow
Shout out Mike Sherman.
I follow some High Snobiety. High
Mhm.
Snobiety. I've been following them, and they posted something, and then I looked at that brand, and I thought it was really cool, and sure enough, you were following them, and I was like, okay, now it's the Chris stamp of approval. Very cool.
I love that.
All right, well let's get out of this because I feel like maybe people don't understand what the hell I'm talking about, and I don't even know if I do.
That was great.
Let me ask
what
you
a great
this.
opening segment.
Mosquitoes. We're almost out of the mosquito season, right?
Yeah.
Are you a mosquito repellent guy?
I thought you were gonna say, "Are you a mosquito guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I love mosquitoes, dude." I am a mosquito repellent guy. I find that literally, unless you fucking paint it onto your leg, they will find an opening.
Useless, yeah.
But I try to repel as best I can. I'm not too worried about mosquitoes unless I'm laying in bed late at night. And I try to hit it.
The worst.
And like it just keeps terrorizing you
beat
the
yourself
entire
up.
night. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm all into mosquito prevention. What about you?
I'm
all for it, dude.
Well, mosquitoes have been a scourge my entire life. Growing up in Maine, you're blanketed by, at first, what are called midges, which sounds politically incorrect, but that's the actual name. And those are the tiny black flies that come out in the early kind of May, June, and then the mosquitoes come and they get bigger and bigger until, probably September, maybe even October is when they're finally gone. But we had this thing where I think someone told us that bats can consume like 10,000 mosquitoes a night.
Wow.
And so we set up these little wooden bat houses that, presumably we bought from some arts and crafts fair at the local high school to raise money so that the girls volleyball team could go to, Jupiter, Florida over spring break. That's what we used to do. And we bought these bat houses, and then you had to buy bat guano.
What's guano?
Guano is bat poop.
That sounds like a rap like term for money. Guano. Give me that guano.
Yeah.
It's bat poop.
Bat poop. Yeah. And if you famously featured in one of the Ace Ventura movies.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Maybe that's why it sounded familiar.
They feed it to, he eats it by accident.
Shikaka.
Yeah. So there, we had to get bat guano, and you smear the bat guano on the inside of the bat houses to attract bats, who then flit and fly across your yard, devouring mosquitoes by the thousands.
Jesus.
So that's the theory, but like every mosquito repellent method, we never had bats come. So we just had these houses that were full of bat shit.
Yeah, dude, what are like bats just not doing a good job at PR for themselves? Like, we're bats, we love shit and mosquitoes, dude.
I know.
All right, so then did that work?
Well,
what a great method.
We tried so many different methods that didn't really work. The tiki torches. It's funny because
citronella.
Now tiki torches have taken on a bad name.
Oh, because of Charlottesville.
Appropriated by white supremacists.
I believe that today, the day we recorded this, is the anniversary of that.
Oh my gosh!
I'm fairly certain.
Wow.
So this will come out later.
Dude, did I tell you I had a friend in high school who is now a war correspondent photographer.
Oh, cool.
And he embeds in hot zones.
Syria and all that
Syria,
stuff.
for real.
Wow.
And
Fucking
goes all
hot.
over the place. And I mean, his Instagram is insane, but I'm not going to share it because what I'm about to say is not good about him. This guy was a guy I really looked up to.
Mm-hmm.
He was a year older than me, brilliant athlete, went to an Ivy League school, somebody whose footsteps I sort of wanted to follow in. And then sure enough, after, college, he gets into reporting fucking incredible Pulitzer Prize like stuff.
Sick.
And I asked him if he wanted to come on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And his response was, he was like, great to hear from you, flattered that you'd ask. I'm going to pass, though, to be honest, like some of your humor, meaning me, not the podcast, doesn't really jive with me.
Oh, wow. Shots
This
fired.
was like a month and a half ago. I have not stopped thinking about that.
Yeah, it's a burn, dude. Jesus.
And you search your brain for some way to discredit him.
Mm.
You say, well, fuck that guy. He doesn't matter to me because, I saw him polluting once. Or you try to come up with some way to tell yourself that you're better than he is, that his rejection doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And yet here's this guy that my whole life I looked up to is
Mm-hmm.
now a war correspondent photographer. He is pristine in his idealism.
Totally.
And there's nothing I can do to lessen him, which only makes the sting worse.
Totally. And dude, it paints such a bad picture that's so funny to me. Like, he thinks that he's going to come on the podcast and you're going to be like, well, dude, he's like, yeah, man, we saw these camps where women were being mistreated. And you're just going to be like, well, those women are kind of hot, right?
Yeah, right? It's like, no, fuckhead, like we're not
He
like
just thinks
that.
you're just like a fucking dude. I'm sorry.
But but I'm glad you appreciate it. Like I'm sure he saw some jokes once upon a time, or maybe he just roundly dislikes Barstool. Or, by the way, when I got hired by Barstool, this was right after, shortly after getting out of a 7-year relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so desperate for my ex-girlfriend's approval that I texted her and said that I'd been hired by Barstool, somehow thinking that might impress her. And her response was something very similar. Like, not really a fan of theirs, but congratulations.
Mm.
And I just wanted to be like, why couldn't you just say congratulations? Just leave that negative part out of it. Because that rankled me for so long too.
Yeah, it's tough.
Anyway.
Senior breakup, dude.
Senior breakup.
That's tough, man. I'm sorry.
Whatever. I, these are, you have people in your life whose opinions matter a lot to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing how in such few words they can dismantle your sense of self.
Mm-hmm. That's on you though, dude. I mean, listen, that's annoying that guy said that. And I know like there are things like that I'm shook about still that happened years ago, but like, just gotta let it go. It's not a big deal.
He
doesn't understand.
What do you mean?
He doesn't get it. Like, he doesn't get that he is judging you unfairly.
Of course.
Like, if he were to listen to this podcast, I think he would find that you were insightful and reasonable. And that if you take it too far, if you ever do, which I don't even think you do, but if you were to, that he realized that maybe there was a satirical element there for interpretation.
Right.
And I think that he's got you pegged all wrong, man. I wouldn't sweat it.
Well, I guess my point is I'm aware of, jokes that I've made that were over the line, of course, and the fact that sometimes we fly too close to the sun, all of that. But unfortunately, I think what we do, and there are other careers that are like this, your bad moments can stand out as your resume.
Right.
And to limit somebody to a couple of, moments where, like, at its core, we just didn't do our job that well. You had an off day
Right.
at the office. Those will define you. And I hate that, dude. I hate the amount of good shit you have to put out to overcome the negative, mountain of press or opinion about you.
Right. No, dude, totally. Well, this brings me brings up something funny about my reputation with my girlfriend. Because I don't know if you ever play this game where like you'll jokingly say, like, I'll joke about like how much money I would need to get to like pimp her out type of thing. Okay, so no, just wait though. So
wait, what?
Like we'll make jokes. Like, so here's an example. So one of the examples was I was like, how much money would you need to get for like me to blow somebody?
Oh.
Like
You-
but via her. Like the deal is she gets this like great setup, but the deal is I have to blow somebody.
So that's not, I wouldn't say that, that's her pimping you out.
I know, but I'm saying, so this type of joke.
Okay.
And we do it the other way too.
Okay.
And so,
This is a fun exercise.
and like, so I'll bring this up to her, dude, I'll bring this up to her, and it's funny because I'll be like, how much money would it have to be for you to bring it to me? And she goes, I don't think that's the question. She goes, the question is, would I be okay with you blowing somebody because I know you would say yes? And I was like, wow, you know me too well. I am a man who can be bought, absolutely. But it's insane that is.
That's great.
Do you ever do that? Exercise?
We don't. It's just not one of our things. But it's we have other weird stuff. But that's such a mind-bending hypothetical.
It's just a fun, like just any sort of crazy thing like that where I'm like, would you do this? Would you do that? For how much money? But she always says that when she answers, I then try to remind her of some of the implications. She's like, that's not how this game works. Like you don't get to like, I answered and it's over. You don't get to tell me, remind me of things.
Right. You try to parse it out, try to reason it, and people are just assigning a arbitrary monetary value on something that they're taking at face value. They're not really considering all the implications.
Right. It's a fun game.
Absolutely. I don't know. I don't see that like causing a problem. That was my first thought. You know, it's like, well, would that sit poorly in my relationship? And I don't think it would.
Blowing people for cash?
Or even just bringing up the question. You have this thing.
I love the way that sounds. Blowing people for cash.
You love to quantify, to commodify acts.
I know I do, for sure.
And I think you have a scale. Like you have a very strong sense. You could assign a value for everything that someone came up with.
Right. Well, absolutely. I have a good would you rather, by the way, this reminded me of.
Bring it on. Let's hear it.
It might be, I don't, all right. I may have even said this before, so if I did, you guys can stop me in the middle. But, all right, here are your two options. Option one is that you have a very small but fairly unnoticeable tail.
Okay. Maybe you have brought
Have I brought the tail up before? The tail is big enough so that you can move it. Like you have control. It's a tail. It doesn't look like a skin tag. It has a muscle in it and you can move your little tail. Yeah. That's option number one. Option number two is that every time you order food, you have to say motherfucking before the item that you're ordering. So like, you'll be like, could we start with some motherfucking Brussels sprouts?
Just how do those two things come up in tandem?
Because I think it's a perfect exercise because the tail isn't particularly invasive in your life, in your everyday life. However, it's fucking weird. You're a mutant and you have a tail, and like people will know. Not everybody, maybe just the people who you're closer to, and that might complicate things. However, the motherfucking thing is really annoying because every single time and every circumstance, if you have to avoid business lunches because you have to be like, I have a motherfucking side of steamed spinach.
Yeah. I'm with you.
But this is a real question. Like, which one would you rather have?
I have a question. Where is the tail? Is it like
it's where a tail should be? It's like
just above your butt crack.
Okay.
Yes, it's like what's that? Your sacrum.
The sits bones.
Sits bones.
Yeah. Maybe not the sits bones.
I think it is sits bones. Whatever. That
sits
area
bones
right above, like not directly above your ass like crack, but like maybe like 3 or 4 inches above. Like in a tramp stamp location, you have a tail. Mm-hmm. And it's maybe a little girthy of a tail too. It's like a French bulldog tail.
You know what's amazing?
What?
A quick left turn here.
Sure.
Plumber's crack is never attractive.
Never. That's hilarious.
Even on a hot girl.
That's so true.
Like if a hot girl, no, I'm not saying I'm not saying her underwear is popping out, which, that can be hot. But if she's not wearing underwear and her pants are just riding low and she like bends down to tie her shoes and you just see the top of her butt crack, that's not good.
Dude, and you know what's funny about that? That is so. You're so right. That is unbelievably accurate.
And it's 100 times worse, admittedly, when it's on a man or an actual plumber. I mean, poor plumbers. But, you know.
And dude, this is the thing, though. Like on Instagram, girls will intentionally show a little bit of their ass crack popping out from jeans. And I think that the distinction is important to be made that plumber's crack is not intentional.
Has to be unintentional.
And something about it being unintentional makes it what it is.
Yeah, then you just say, well, that's sloppy.
It's just sloppy.
Why aren't you being mindful of the fact that a breeze is blowing down to your rectum?
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it is. It really it is. Now,
It's really funny.
oh man. In middle school, there was a girl. I mean, I even now. You ever look back on some of your shit and just say like, that was horrible? There was a girl who
yes.
like one day had plumber's crack, and I think my friends and I'm embarrassed to even admit this. I think we were like we yelled like, "Hey, plumber's crack" or something. I don't even know what it was. It was so bad. It was so bad.
Hey, plumber's crack. It's not.
Not
great, yeah.
we weren't like. I think we were like plumber's crack. We called it. We called it out.
Yeah.
But we weren't doing it. We would have done it to anybody, and I think we did it among our friend group. But we should not have included her, and I'm sure she was mortified as a result. And if she's listening to this, I'm sorry.
That's very nice. Dude, I loved middle school. Middle school, I loved it at the time. I look back on it, and it was like, without a doubt, the cringiest moment of my life.
Really?
7th and 8th
It's
grade.
the best years of my life.
It's a good time for sure. I want to hear about why. But like, for example, I used to look forward to the last day of school because everyone would hug. You'd hug you'd hug all the girls. And that was
Hugs
the
are
only,
big.
and that was crazy. You'd talk about how many girls you hugged. You'd be like, dude, I hugged Kelsey Pratt and Sam Lodano and
These are real people.
and
Hags.
and fucking Molly Goldrich, Kirby Grass, like these are all like the hot girls. Like that's just a few. And I was so crazy that I hugged her, dude. Oh my god! Like, and maybe you get a kiss on the cheek. And there was all these like,
God, you were getting kisses on the cheek.
Where'd
you go to school? Like whores are us.
HK, dude.
There's some whores in this house. There are some whores at this school.
But dude, it was just like a really cringe time where like things were so exciting and like the girls were all 1.5 feet taller than all the guys.
Yeah.
So you're literally hugging these girls and like their boobs are in your face and it's just like incredibly exciting. You know what I mean? And like masturbation had been discovered on like a wide scale. I don't know.
I'm with you, dude. Middle school was spectacular.
Why was it spectacular for you?
Well, from 1st to 5th grade, things didn't go great for me.
From 1st to 5th.
Yeah. And I was at a new school. We
What?
had moved to Maine, and I went to Waynfleet, which is a school that, against all odds, sounds simultaneously Jewish and Irish.
Waynfleet.
Waynfleet. It's a very good
No,
school.
Winefleet would sound Jewish.
True.
Was it spelled that way?
It was Wayneflete. Waynfleet.
Waynfleet. Well, it's a
Yeah.
nice name. It has a nice ring to it.
Yeah. It's a very good school. It's ranked the #1 school in Maine now.
The #1 elementary
And,
school,
uh,
or was
if-
it K through 12?
It was K through 12. But the sports were lacking.
Okay.
So after 8th grade, I switched over to a different school to pursue my athletic growth.
Probably a good move.
Yeah,
It ended up working out.
it did. But in middle school, after 5th grade, there was a big jump from 5th grade to 6th grade. New building, new sort of part of campus, and then dances were big.
Oh yeah.
We didn't have dances until then.
Huge.
Huge deal.
Huge.
Huge deal. Huge deal. So it just all of a sudden, I went from being like a boy in 5th grade and younger who would think of, I wanted to be a skateboarder. I didn't know who I was. And all of a sudden in 6th grade, there was this blossoming of like dating and attraction, and people were more forward about their feelings.
Totally.
And people were coupling up over IM. AOL
I
Messenger.
was on IM all day long.
All the time. And all of a sudden, all these girls in middle school who had totally not been interested in me and just maybe thought I was a loser or didn't, whatever. The fact that all of a sudden I was like taller than everyone else and I was, an athlete and I was friends with the popular kids, all of a sudden my stock rose.
It's great.
And I started going out with some of the cutest girls. And it was just such an exciting time, dude.
That's very exciting, dude.
Such an exciting time.
The same was not for me. Like I would talk on the phone for 4 hours with a girl who like wasn't attracted to me.
Yeah, you were.
She's like, oh, but he's G.
I did that too, though.
He's G.
I did that too. I would talk on the phone with a girl who was on IM while she was on the phone with me.
Dude, it was
talking
crazy
to other
time.
people.
Total phone.
and
Did you
were-
guys do that too? Like
No.
3-way calls.
Oh God, no! I don't
Dude.
think we had that capability.
It's crazy. She used to talk to Dan Hunter, dude, for like 5 hours.
Oh,
She call a
shit.
bunch of other people. It's fucking nuts.
What were your guys' like screen names? You have any funny screen names?
I don't even really remember. They were always some iteration of wrestling. I was really into WWF back then. Now it's WWE, but it would always be some iteration of like my favorite wrestlers or something. Yeah.
Mine was Hakeem Bull. There's this kid Chris Bull, and I would like joke with him. I'd call him Hakeem Bull, and then he got annoyed, and he made his screen name Giulio is very fat in capital letters. I was like, dude, you're taking it too far, dude. But Chris Bull is also the guy who I wrote the extra sentence in his blue book for his essay. Like,
yeah.
we were getting Chris Bull for like, we would pick on each other. It was funny. He's a good
stuff.
guy, Chris Bull, dude. God bless
Nice.
him. So, all right, dude, I have a question for you.
Yeah, hit me.
I was thinking about this last night, and I don't know if this was just like a high thought.
Mhm.
It sort of is a high thought, but I also think it holds up in non-high times. Aftershave. I was wondering if aftershave
So glad you're asking.
is scientifically intended to be used after you shave. So it literally helps you after you shave, and you're only supposed to use it on the bottom half of your face. Or is it just the step after you shave, and it's just a moisturizer?
I think you're overthinking this one. I do think
But
so.
do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Well,
Like, do you just use it after you shave because it's step 2 is shave, step 3 is the aftershave, step 4 is moisturizer, or is it literally intended for using directly after you shave?
I think both of these things are the same. I think that
Are they?
a step after you shave is the same as saying this is the cream you're meant to use after you shave.
Yeah, but those are different things potentially. They could also be this. They could be together. But do you see what I'm saying? Like, you do it after you shave because you're supposed to. Like you said, it's meant to be used after you shave, or it's just the next step after you shave, and it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with shaving necessarily. Just that it's part of that order.
This is, I mean, it's a deeply semantic point, and
It has a use. It's to like rehydrate your skin.
yeah,
after
it's a
you shave.
moisturizer.
So
and
it has like a medical
it's
use.
meant
It's not
to
just
be-
a thing.
Great, but can you use it when you didn't shave?
Okay, well then that's a different question.
But it's not. It's partially the same question, because it's like, is it necessary just for when you shave, or is it just the thing that comes after you shave? But if you didn't shave, you can still use it.
I think that you could use aftershave without having shaved.
Like just after you get out of the shower,
Sure,
and can you
but
use it on your forehead?
I'm sure that you can. I would think that the properties of most aftershaves are similar to the properties of a regular moisturizer.
Like a serum or something.
Yeah, but the problem is that they're always scented.
Right.
And so for me, I have very sensitive skin, and I don't like to put aromatic salves and balms all over my face.
Right.
So I just try to I don't really do aftershave. I just do moisturizer.
Gotcha.
But here's a question that I have for you. Are you a cologne guy?
Dude, I'm a perfume guy.
Come on.
I wear women's perfume.
Get the fuck out
I
of
swear to
my
God.
face.
I swear to God.
What are you talking
I
about?
swear.
What does that even mean?
I wear Bond No. 9 Hudson Yards, which is technically unisex, but it is far more feminine leaning. And I wear scented moisturizers that are intended for women as well. To the point where one of my ex-girlfriends said to me once, "Why do you smell like my grandmother?"
Hold on. Why is it that you gravitate towards female scented product.
They just smell way fucking better. And I think that my girlfriend would hate hearing this. I think she knows it's true, but it kind of is ignoring it. And anytime I wear a more masculine fragrance, she tries to show me how much she likes it. She'll be like, "This is great. What is this? This is great." I'm like, "You know what it is. It's the fucking thing that got mailed to your dad by accident that you gave me because you know how that was happening to him. And now I'm using it, and now you're acting like you like so Obsession by Calvin Klein, like some like very run of the mill fucking fragrance. So that is
interesting.
And I stand by that, dude. Female scents are fire, dude. They smell way better.
I think that a lot of the women's deodorant is nice.
It doesn't really work though.
No, it doesn't.
I've found. But what about you? What's your cologne?
Well, here's the
perfume?
thing. I have not been a cologne guy since middle school. I used to wear cologne to the middle school dances.
Was it Abercrombie and Fitch?
No, it was like Burberry.
Axe.
Stuff that my mom would buy me on the way home from a flight where they'd come through with the duty-free trolley and she would get me like a Lacoste or a
That's great, yeah.
thing, and it was great.
Aqua di Gio.
Yeah. So she never got me that one. That one was always sort of to like the highest end.
Right.
So it was always like Lacoste. I had a Ralph Lauren one.
Nice.
In a blue bottle.
Polo blue?
Yeah, Polo blue. Yeah, I think that's the one I had.
My uncle wears that still.
Yeah. But I stopped wearing it and I never wear it. And my girlfriend has been bringing it up.
Interesting.
And she said, you know, she has hinted that she would like for me to wear cologne from now and again, especially for date nights and whatever else. And the thing is, I said to her, you know, I don't care. I don't like it. I don't want to. And she said, it's not for you. Not for me, right? It's for her. She wants to smell me. And I said,
she wants to smell me.
Yeah. I said, is this because I smell bad? And she didn't answer right away.
Wow. You're a clean guy.
I am very clean, but I do think
that's
that the absence of smell is not necessarily a good smell.
Interesting.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just because I've cleaned the stink off of me and I go out smelling neutral, that's not good enough.
Wow.
There needs to be a scent.
That's interesting. Well, I understand. I don't think that she means that you smell bad though. And this is why I think that. Because for example, have you ever walked by a girl who's like she's like done up? She's wearing makeup. She looks good, but she's definitely tried really hard. And you walk by her and like 20 feet later, you just get blasted in the face by the scent of perfume. I like that.
You do?
I like that. And every time I'll be walking with a girl, she'll be like, "Oh, that girl's a fucking whore." I'm like, I like that she used half a bottle of perfume. I think you know what I mean? You don't like it? You're not into that?
I don't like it. I don't like overly perfumed anything. I hate getting into an Uber or a taxi where the whole car smells either of air freshener or something. That makes me sick.
I agree with air freshener, but
scent makes my head reel. I get lightheaded. I get nauseous if it's too overwhelming of a scent.
Interesting.
And it may be that I used to like the scents of a woman, but now I don't care. I don't even notice it anymore. And the other thing I would say is that it's commonly known that scent is the number one sense tied to memory, right? Whenever you smell something, it
that
evokes
makes so much sense.
a memory. And all I can think of is if my girlfriend really wants me to start wearing cologne, then I just envision a scene where like I die and then she's clutching my shirts and being like, "Oh, this is all I have left of him." Like that scene in Brokeback Mountain where, so to me, it's such a sad thing to like want to cling to the scent of somebody.
No, I agree. No, that is a sad thing, but I don't think that that's a reason for you not to wear cologne, dude. That's hilarious. I mean, dude, give it a shot, you know?
I guess so. I guess that's what I'll do. Yeah, I gotta get some because it's she's brought it up enough times that I have to heed it at this point. But
no shame in that, brother.
Why don't we wrap for today? What a fun episode.
Great episode.
Talked about a lot of bath products, grooming, all that sorts of stuff. any thoughts on Cologne or individualized sense or middle school, any of the stuff we talked about, please weigh in. oopsthepodcast@gmail.com. For now, I'm Francis Ellis. He's Giulio Gallerati. Follow our YouTube, follow our Instagram, follow us. We love you, and we will see you soon.
If you like that video, check out our channel where we have way more videos. I just don't know how to do this. This is unbelievable. If you like that video, we have way more videos on our channel. Please like and subscribe. Turn on notifications if you want to know when there are new ones. But if not, check them out, and we appreciate it.
Oops.